technical issues here.
Don't worry. So we were, let me open it again. What is it? What is it? Okay, it is here. Okay, we were talking about how to expand your expression. Okay.
Yeah, the last one, the recommendation.
Yes. What would you recommend it to a friend? You can talk about, for example, there is a convenience store, convenience store. Those stores where you can buy from a snack to a pair of socks.
Okay.
Hey, the ones that are usually at the gas stations that you go and you can buy a cup of coffee, you can buy a sandwich, a pre-prepared sandwich from the fridge. Sometimes there is a microwave oven, so you can buy, I don't know, a ramen, one of those, and fix it in the microwave. Those kind of stores, they are called in English convenience stores.
Okay.
And why stores and not shop? Because you have a variety of snacks, you have a variety of things to buy. That's why it's called a store. A convenience store is very, very practical. Okay.
Yeah.
So when they had tell you why you would recommend it to a friend, you should mention the things you consider important for your friend, as it is your friend and you know. My friend has 3 little kids, and in this hotel they have nursery. So if you want to go out and have dinner at night, you can leave your 3 kids at the nursery or at the child area. I know they like to swim, so the hotel has a large swimming pool. They don't have kids. They want to be in a romantic place. No, this hotel has very comfortable rooms, and they are near very beautiful places to visit and take pictures. So you have to think about that friend whom you would recommend a hotel in order
Right.
to expand what you say. Let's check
Right.
one. Describe a piece of art you like. You should say what it is, where you saw it, why you like it, and why would you recommend the author of that piece of art or the place where that piece of art is to a friend. So tell me, piece of art you like.
Oh, a piece of art. Let me think about.
Or you can say, I've never thought about this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just thought about that. I remember a painting that were in no that was in my parents' house. Do you know? I don't remember the name, but the last name is Endara. It's an Ecuadorian
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, artist. I don't know. I don't remember it. Like Endara or I don't remember the name, but my parents had a painting in the living room. That is a big train, and Dara is an Ecuadorian artist that painted trains everywhere. But it's that the particularity in his paintings, is that he paints trains, big trains, floating everywhere, floating in cities, floating in mountains, and that painting that my parents had, the train was floating in with two mountains and a city. I believe it's a little town in the under the train. I like it because it has a lot of color. It is a very nice painting to look at. Um, I also like it because When I saw the painting, I imagined how 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 is like to have a train that floats. I was a little kid when I usually watch that painting. Um, I like it also because it's an Ecuadorian artist. I believe it is very famous. I don't know in this generation, but in my parents' generation, and there I was a very famous artist. And I recommend it because I think that is a painting that um, lets you navigate in your imagination. We will never see a train floating in the city or in the mountains, but when you look at the painting, my your mind surely go like expand. Um, yes, your imagination will expand, and you can travel in that train. I think that was very it should be funny, or it would be very funny if anybody can fly on the train.
Okay, nice. I didn't know about that artist. Uh, you said anybody. Remember that anybody is used in questions and negative. It was the only mishap
Uh,
I found. Somebody,
somebody.
okay,
If
or
somebody
someone. Somebody or
would,
someone. Okay.
okay,
What's the difference between somebody and someone? Someone is more personal.
okay,
Okay, if I go to the office and say, everybody must be doing something, I'm talking to in general to a whole group. But if I say, every one of you should be doing something at this office, so people feel I'm talking individually to them, not as a
mm,
group of people, but individually. I'm addressing each one of you. So people
okay.
feel more involved because it's like you and you and you and you and you. Okay?
And how do you say if for example, I try to say, si alguien se subiera a ese tren, seguro fue una experiencia muy bonita recordarlo. Si alguien,
Somebody, somebody,
somebody,
someone.
okay,
Okay?
somebody.
When we use
Yeah.
anybody, it's because we are talking in a negative way. I don't know anybody who. I don't know anybody who
Okay.
dislikes art. Okay? Or anybody can see that this is not the best way. So you're giving a negative remark or in a
Mhm.
question. Do you know anybody who has ever gone to Europe and see the museums? Or do you know anybody who has visited El Prado Museum in Madrid or El Escorial Museum in Spain or the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York? So I think about it because I've been there. Okay. Or the London of the King's Gallery in London. Okay. So when we use a question or we talk about something and we make a negative remark or a negative thought, we use the anybody. The thing is that
Okay.
in English and Spanish dictionary, you find anybody as alguien, but they don't give you the
Mm,
context and how to use it. You say
okay.
alguien in English, somebody, anybody, someone, anyone, alguien. Okay,
Okay.
that's why. So it's a confusion. And you talk about the peculiarity. That's a Spanglish. You can say
Okay.
it has a particular feature or special
Particularly.
feature or
Okay.
characteristic. You can say their pieces of art are characteristic because tan 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 tan.
Okay.
Example,
Okay.
if
Yeah.
have you ever heard about Klimt?
No,
I heard about a guy called Klimt. He's one of my
it's an
favorite.
artist.
Is yes.
Thing. No.
Okay, let me see if I can find. Yes. Okay. I didn't know him until one of my first boss when I moved to the city I lived in Valencia showed me him. He was my boss, and now she's one of my best friends. So he showed me this picture. Gustav Klimt, that's his name. Okay, he is from the 19th century.
Oh no.
Okay, wait a second. Let me show you one of his most famous pieces of art. It was the first one I saw. And since that moment,
Mm.
I became a fan of him. Notice, this is one of them. So notice he has yellow flowers, and
Mm-hmm.
he uses
Big.
gold color and orange for his paintings. Okay, let me show you the one I love the best. The one I love the best is this one. It is called The Kiss.
Mm.
Okay, that was the first one I saw for him. And I loved this colorful pattern and the way that the man is with geometrical and the girl was with flowers. So if you check all his pictures, notice that there is a preponderance of circular images like this one. Okay, like this one. You see the same colors, geometrical shapes, and this beautiful tree. This is called El Árbol de la Vida from Klimt. And he has a picture I'm trying to find, but I haven't found, that is with cats. He painted cats in this style because he had two cats. Okay. And of course,
And where is he from?
I like it, the colors. I like it that he combines this yellow and gold color with other brilliant colors. So I can say, look, this is one of the cats. You see? The black cat in
Uh-huh.
those colorful things. Look at this. This is
Very
an
nice.
apple tree. Okay. So I really, since
Oh.
the very first moment I saw the kiss, I tried to find out, look at the cats. You see?
Mhm.
With
Yes.
stars and that kind of expression like naughty cats, not the lovely cats,
Mhm.
but naughty cats, and the organic
Yeah.
shapes with the spirals. So I really liked him. And I appreciate that all of their pictures, they might be mainly yellow or gold color, but he then look at the other cats at moonlight, but he made a contrast with other brilliant colors and black. Okay.
And where is he from?
He is from Vienna. He's German.
Uh,
Okay. So this beautiful lady, notice is everything is colored yellow or gold, but then he made a contrast with green. And look at the different colors. We have blue, we have white, somewhere we have a bit of red. The black hair looks looks impressive toward
yes.
that black that yellow and gold bottom or back. So I can say, instead of say that Klimt has the peculiarity, I can say Klimt paintings have as a peculiar feature that all of his paintings contain yellow or gold. All of
Oh.
them, or most of
Mm.
them. And when they don't have those colors, they use beautiful, tiny, colorful patterns. Like this one. You can
Mhm.
see this is the trunk on the branches of the tree, but it is almost unnoticeable. What you see is a big variety of colors. And of course,
Yes.
here includes yellow. Okay.
Yes.
So instead of saying the peculiarity, I can say the special feature or the most important characteristic of Gustav Klimt's pieces of art is the use of yellow, gold, yellow and gold, and certain patterns in brilliant colors. Okay?
Right.
Talking about art is not easy. It's not easy. You need to know specifically a determined author. Okay? And be a fan of that. What about if you don't know anything about art? You can say, this is not my cup of tea. Art is not my cup of tea. It's not my favorite subject.
It's not my
But
cup of
it's
tea.
not my cup of tea. No es mi taza de té. But that expression means it is not something that I know a lot about it or something I'm interested in. And it's perfectly logical. Not everybody's interested in the same things. Okay, so you can say, well, you know, art is not my cup of tea. But once I saw an image from Jackson Pollock.
Okay.
And it calls my attention because Pollock painted like without order. There are dots of color everywhere. And I was impressed because I liked it. I remember I visited the Jackson Pollock Museum in one of the times I went to New York. I have relatives in the USA and they live there. So this is Jackson Pollock. Look, it's like dots of color and lines. Okay, and you say, well, I saw a Jackson Pollock. I saw a picture on the internet. They caught my attention because it was colorful. And then I looked for the author, and his author is an American Mike, Jackson Pollock. And I checked in the internet other pictures of him, and I noticed that it has a lot of dots and lines, but he doesn't make any definite pattern. And when he painted something like a tree, he puts the lines and the dots of painting on it. And I think that's his most important characteristic, or their works of art. Obras de arte is called works of art. His work of art are always dots of color and lines.
And can you say pieces of art?
Yes, his pieces of art or his works of art. Works of art is more English.
Okay.
His works of art. So
Works.
I don't like him because I think, how can someone consider this art? But at the moment when he did this, it was the 60s, and people were eager to see this kind of things as art, based on Andy Warhol and his cans of soup. Because Andy Warhol painted cans of food, soup, Campbell soup, art. So he did all this in the 60s when people wanted like to renew art, get very far separated from the classicals like Da Vinci or Michelangelo or any other of those classical artists.
All right.
So they considered that blobs, manchones, that blobs of painting and lines with no pattern, they were considered art.
Okay.
I visited the museum to see if it was really worth. But I consider that for me, and you can say, in my opinion, they call my attention, but I don't consider it a piece of art. And you give an example.
You don't like the abstract art?
I like the abstract. I like Carlos Cruz Diez, Alejandro Otero. Okay, I like Picasso, but I don't like Pollock because I say these blobs. It's like my 3-year-old granddaughter paintings. Wow, and pass the hands, and so I don't consider it art. My personal opinion, it is not art.
Okay.
It might call your attention because of the bright colors.
Yes, the patterns.
Yes, the patterns and the colorful things, yellow, red, blue. But for me, that's art.
For example, for art, you should say the patterns or the shapes.
Patterns.
Patterns.
In that case, it's patterns. In the case you consider, for example, Degas or Monet, that he makes shapes, or Miró, John
Okay.
Miró from Catalonia, he's Spanish, because all his paintings are abstract and it's based on lines and shapes. Okay, so you can say the shapes are this and this and this and this. Let me see if
All right.
I can find, give me a second, Miró. Joan Miró. Okay, so let me show you some pieces from Miró. Jean Miró, he was from Catalonia. So you can see he uses shapes.
Yes.
Circles, rectangles, curved lines. So you can say the shapes here are mostly geometrical, but he also combines them to create different patterns like here. This is the Miró, and this is the Picasso. Okay. So you can say, well, I like the shapes in Miró because they are organic. He combines lines with geometrical shapes to give an impression to the person who see his works of art. Okay,
Right.
that is, it is geometrical shapes and curves, and they are. This is the cat from Miró. Okay, so you can say the shapes. He was also a sculptor. Okay, so you can use any of the talk about the art. And if you don't know anything about the art or this topic you're asked, you can start by saying, "This is not my cup of tea."
Right.
Instead of, "This is not something I know about," because they would be considered like lame. Everybody's in contact with art, either they like it or not. If you say, "I don't know anything about art," it means like you are an ignorant, you have never gone to a museum. Or did you say, "Well, this is not my cup of tea," or "This is not something I manage, but I saw a picture from Picasso and I liked it because it was the blue Picasso's works of art, and all the pictures were blue, and I love blue."
Okay.
That's easy enough. And they would
All
change
right.
the topic, not to keep on talking about art, but something else. Or he might ask you, "Okay, art is not your cup of tea. Which is your cup of tea?" Say, "Music, Latin American music. You know, I dance very well and I love Juan Luis Guerra." Because usually when you say that, they change the topic. Okay? So we finish for today. On Tuesday, we're going to have with Jose Miguel some practice with the cues, with the cue cards. Okay, and we're going to talk about the first unit of the book that you have for
All right.
Okay, so Pamela,
All right.
have a nice weekend. See you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye.